Hello friends, and welcome back to my crafty space. My name is Crystal, and in today's video, I am going to be putting together a story about myself using the Happy at Home kit from Feed Your Craft. So this whole spread was inspired by two things. One was this card that says, "This is me right now," with a couple of fields to fill out there. And the second were these six, what do I want to call these, labels, I suppose, that have words like listening, loving, watching, baking, making, and reading. And I thought, how perfect are those for creating a spread all about currentlies and currently in terms of what's currently happening in my life. So that is what we're going to be doing. I have a few things here already printed out, some pictures to work through. These are 1.75 by 1.75 squares that will go where these pieces are. I just kind of laid it out to make sure I got my sizing right here. Some embellishments. I did go ahead and print off my journaling on my journaling cards, which I will add a link up at the eye for the tutorial on how I do that. And then, a few other bits and pieces here and there. So what I'm going to do is to go ahead and put you on fast forward. I'm going to get all of this assembled, and then once we have that the way I like it, we'll slow back down and close out of our video for today. So let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so to get started on this spread, the first thing I'm going to do here is take everything off of this paper that I had basically created a template for. And then I went and cut another piece of white cardstock. I just have one that I keep always next to me that has the holes in it, so I know where to line it up for my new pages. So I cut out a new page, I hole punched it, and then I can start to lay things out on here. I always like to hole punch first, that way I can make sure that nothing is going to go over where the holes are, so I won't, like punch into something important. So for this cluster here in the middle, there was that triangle piece that said, indoorsy on it. I layered that with the introvert sentiment. And there was also a tiny little house. So I just put all of those together in a little cluster, and that is going to go into the middle of that large outside of the page protector page. Then I went ahead and got all of those photos trimmed out. And then I decided to just go ahead and work on the right side of this spread first, because that's going to be a lot easier. I added a little heart ephemera piece to the back side of the chair where the girl is sitting at the desk. And then for this one, I am adding one of my selfie pictures. That was actually a Thursday 3 picture from a couple weeks ago onto that card. And then I also have the ephemera piece that says, "This is me," with a little camera on it. And that's pretty much going to be the right-hand side. And then we can get to work on the more complicated side here. So first I'm going to add my journaling that pertains to each of these photos. So there's, watching, making, listening, reading, baking, and something else. Loving, maybe? Maybe it's loving. So there are 6 of them total, and I wanted to use all 6 of them. So once I had all of the journaling handwritten out on there, then I grabbed all of the pieces, and we're going to start laying it out on this page so that we can make sure that it all fits on here without interfering. And the other thing that was important is I wanted to be able to draw a straight line that goes from the photo to the center, because I want this to look like a mind map. So once I have them where I like it, the next thing I'm going to do is adhere down all of these photos where I want them to go. We're going to bring back over all of these labels just to make sure everything looks okay. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and draw my lines. So I will line up my ruler here, and eventually what I figured out that I could do is that I could just go ahead and draw my line from photo to photo and just have them intersect in the middle. I figured out on this one, I could just go a straight line. So whatever, it works out in the end. But I'm drawing a line so that they all intersect in the direct middle where that introvert ephemera piece is going to go. My idea next is to take these and actually hand stitch some black embroidery floss into those lines so that, it gives them a little bit more dimension. It gives it a little bit of texture on here. Not everything is so flat, and so on and so on. Before I did that, though, I wanted to add those labels back on there just to make sure everything can fit okay. And I ended up wanting to move that photo down just a smidge. So that's what I did. I moved that down, made sure everything looks good, and now I can take off all the labels. I can take off that middle piece, and then we'll go ahead and pierce the holes into this page. So I'm using a paper piercer, an awl, and I'm poking holes about, maybe every, I don't even know, maybe a couple of millimeters apart, like not very far apart, lots of holes. And then I'm going to go ahead and stitch it. So I use all 6 strands of my embroidery floss. I picked black for this one. And for the ends here, I left this in so you can see, I'm just going to use a little bit of washi tape to hold down the tail. And that way it doesn't fall out. And then I can stitch all the way down the line. So I'm going to go all the way from the book photo here, all the way down to the podcast photo down at the bottom. So I will skip over a bunch of this so you can see. But basically I'm just doing a back stitch. So I'm going into, from the front of the page to the back of the page, and then skipping to the next one, just like a straight stitch, but then going back through the hole on the front. So it creates a back stitch, which fills in all of those sections. It's a really easy stitch to do if you are interested in trying out some hand stitching on paper. I definitely recommend the back stitch. So then I took it off screen. I went and watched an episode of Bridgerton while I did this, and then just finished up stitching that page. And it looks really cool, especially when you see it up close and in person. I love the texture that brings. So then I added some adhesive on there and stuck it down and realized that was not going to work for me because there's just too much dimension behind it. So then I grabbed out these foam stickers here. They're just little tiny square stickers, and I'm going to try and evenly place them on here so that the whole ephemera piece is stabilized and popped up off of the page. So you'll see me like put it back down and bring it back up. That's just because I'm trying to make sure that I get every bit of this covered, but not necessarily where the thread is or where that stitching is. So I'm trying to finagle it so that it goes around there. I feel like, I don't remember if I do or not, if I put this on a little bit crooked in the end. It ends up being fine and I don't really care. But I'm pretty sure I put it like slightly crooked. And then I'll try to bring it back up to fix it, and it is so far down. I'm like, whatever, I don't care. It sticks, it stays. So then once I have that down, I am going to then take these labels that we did, or these little journaling spots, and add those to my photos. I did, you'll see on the right side that they're pretty much all on the top of the photo, and then on the bottom, or on the left side, they're all on the bottom. In terms of the photos here, I have there at the top, it says loving, and I have a picture of my daughter and my son and the other little boy, Ryan, who I teach. They're doing an art class, like a virtual art class on Thursday. So I wrote about that. My husband and I just finally watched the movie Venom. It was super good. We're really big Spider-Man fans, so it was nice to finally see that. I'm currently reading Black Wall Street, which is all about Greenwood in Tulsa and the Tulsa race riot, which is super interesting. For baking, I said that I was baking nothing, that I'm just eating what my mom has recently baked. Listening, I talked about the podcast that I co-host with Tashi, and listening to episodes as I edit them, or not, I don't edit them, but I do the show notes. So I have to listen to the whole episode after we record it, and it's always good fun to listen to. And making was my reading journal. So I took a picture of my reading journal to include. The last little thing I'm doing here is just adding a few puffy stickers. I added one underneath the introvert thing there in the middle of the mind map. I put one above the desk and then one above the photo of me. And then that basically completes the spread, and I super love it. All right, friends, so that completes my spread for today. I think this one came together really, really nicely. I love having this look kind of like a mind map over here that just really makes me happy. And having these little bits and pieces of what's been happening for us this past week. And again, oh no, I've got it right here. I was about to say again, I don't have this dated, but I do. Actually, twice on both of these journaling cards. So that is good because I always forget to do that. Okay, yeah, so this one looks really awesome. Love the story, love the way that it came together. I hope that you guys feel inspired to tell a story about what is happening currently in your life right now. If you have this kit and you're looking for a story to tell, this is an excellent one that just kind of gets a snapshot of you today, right here, right now. And I think that that is a great thing to document periodically throughout the year. If you enjoyed this video, I would love a thumbs up down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see all of the future content I have coming your way. I am going to be back again on Wednesday with my next Project Life spread in my 2021 album. I also have an additional process video for a month back in 2017. I'm working my way through my 2017 Project Life, but that is available exclusively over on my Mighty Network. So if you're looking to see how I document some of the older years, definitely hit that link down in the description below to head over to the Mighty Network and check that video out there. All right, you guys, so that is going to do it for me today. I hope that you have a great rest of your day, a great start to your week, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye now.